The Dutch Golden Age, when a small nation ruled the seas and revolutionized the world. From their marshy lands, the Dutch built an empire that spanned the globe. Innovation powered by wind, the Dutch mastered their battle against the sea.
Amsterdam, the world's premier trading hub, with 1,000 Dutch ships entering the Baltic annually. The Dutch East India Company controlled spice routes worldwide, bringing immense wealth.
A new affluent middle class emerged. Merchants, lawyers, physicians living in luxury.
Artists like Vermeer captured everyday life, creating the genre paintings that defined Dutch culture.
Simple yet nutritious meals, Thames herring, bread, potatoes formed the Dutch diet.
Canals served as streetskatens. The Dutch turned water into transportation arteries.
Religious tolerance flourished. Jews, Catholics, and Protestants lived side by side.
Global goods filled markets: spices from Asia, tobacco from America, coffee from Arabia.
Education was highly valued. Dutch literacy rates exceeded anywhere else in Europe.
The Dutch revolutionized shipbuilding. Their flut design dominated global trade.
Admiral Michiel de Ruyter, genius of Dutch naval tactics, revolutionized fleet coordination.
The Dutch mastered the Atlantic. Their ships could handle any weather.
Anglo-Dutch wars, 4 conflicts that determined naval supremacy. Naval battles evolved, from chaotic melees to disciplined fleet engagements. Dutch naval victories brought wealth and prestige. Amsterdam celebrated its heroes. But justice had a dark side. Prisons housed hundreds in terrible conditions. Punishments were brutal. Torture extracted confessions for serious crimes. Public punishment served as deterrence pros, criminals displayed for all to see.
Banishment was a common punishment, especially for immigrants and serious offenses. Urban courts administered justice, but treatment varied by birthplace and status.
Guilds policed trade fat. Heavy fines could ruin illegal street vendors.
Dark chapter 10. Dutch involvement in slave trade across 3 continents. Wealthy families displayed prosperity through art, silver, and fine furniture.
But inequality was extreme. A quarter of population lived in damp, one-room dwellings.
Science flourished. Dutch pioneered optics, astronomy, and cartography. But Jan Leefwater's engineering victories, Dutch reclaimed land from the sea. Dutch controlled world trade, spices, tobacco, sugar, coffee flowing through Amsterdam.
Family life centered around meals, servants, apprentices, extended family.
Canal rings defined social status. Altkantiviteit zout. Grand houses showed merchant wealth.
Dutch shipyards produced massive fleets, 100-gun warships like Sovereign of Seas. Second Anglo-Dutch War. English victory at Lowestoft, 1665, but Dutch persevered. Great Fire of London aided Dutch the cause. English dockyards destroyed, Dutch gained advantage. Treaty of Breda, 1667 Fonpines. Dutch raided English fleet at Chatham, ending Second War. Admiral Michiel de Ruyter's death, 1676. Netherlands mourned their greatest naval hero. Fourth Anglo-Dutch War, 1780 to 84.
British victory ended Dutch global dominance. Imprisonment increased 1650 to 1750. Prisoners confined on water and bread. Immigrants treated harshly, more likely banished, tortured, denied compensation. Women punished for moral offences. Fines could equal annual wages.
Tragic reality. 50% of children didn't survive to adulthood.
Street vendors faced constant harassment. This stall is operating outside guild regulations. You are hereby fined 5 shillings. Pay immediately or face seizure.
Wealthy families spent thousands on luxuries. Miniature silver salvers, dolls' houses.
Thousands of acres reclaimed from sea through Dutch engineering marvels. Dutch-led scientific revolution, TADS, telescopes, microscopes, world mapping.
Canals required constant cleaning, essential for sanitation and trade.
Dutch East Indies brought spices, wealth, but also oppression and exploitation.
Dark legacy. Dutch traders participated in transatlantic slave trade. Dutch Golden Age produced masterpieces Turbris, Rembrandt, Vermeer, Hals, defined art history.
VOC charters granted monopoly powers, private company with sovereign authority. Dutch ship design innovations, flout design maximized cargo capacity, minimized crew.
Taxation funded naval power infrastructure but caused resentment and riots. This is daylight robbery. We can barely feed our family.
Riots erupted when government failed. 1688 Amsterdam uprising showed popular unrest. Unusual religious tolerance prounce. Jews, Catholics, Protestants, all practiced freely.
18th century decline Fethers. British naval supremacy. Loss of colonies ended Golden Era. Life aboard VOC ships was monotonous, rotating 4-hour shifts, working sails and ropes, with mind-numbing boredom between tasks.
Strict discipline enforced through public corporal punishment, flogging for slow work, theft, or lying.
Crews were remarkably diverse. Europeans, Asians, Africans, islanders all served together, though tensions occasionally flared.
Captains held absolute authority as judge, jury, and executioner. VOC protocols demanded strict discipline for safety and efficiency.
Mortality was high. Drowning was the leading cause, with 22 deaths on one ship alone, plus falls from masts and disease. To prevent desertion, VOC withheld 50% of wages until contract completion, keeping desertion rates at just over 2%.
Keel-hauling was another brutal punishment, dragging offenders under the ship's hull, nearly always fatal.
Between 1616 and 1619, this court sentenced 175 prisoners to various punishments.
Imprisonment became common, and the 35% of sentences were direct freedom punishments, with 150 prisoners sent to tuchthuis.
Corporal punishment was public.
128 people received flogging combined with banishment or other penalties.
Banishment was common. 92 people received temporary exile, with 128 getting permanent banishment plus corporal punishment. Piracy was severely punished. Dutch authorities called pirates scum and rabble, enemies of humanity.
Riots erupted during economic distress. 1672, 1718.
I sentence you to the dark cells. Immigrants received harsher treatment.
71% received water and bread imprisonment versus locals. Women punished for moral offences. Fines could equal annual wages, forcing many into poverty.
Tragic reality. 50% of children didn't survive to adulthood, reflecting harsh living conditions. Justice was complex, combining rights, customs, ordinances, and biblical norms into the comprehensive legal framework.
The Peacemaker Court in Leiden handled minor disputes, inexpensive and simple procedures for common folk.
Courts often imposed multiple punishments: fines, imprisonment, corporal punishment, and banishment combined. Death penalties were rare. Only 13 death sentences over 3 years in Amsterdam, 5 by sword, 8 by rope.
Public humiliation was common. Criminals displayed on the scaffold, paraded through streets. Penitentiary reform began. Amsterdam's Tuchthuis housed prisoners in workhouses teaching trades. Military punishments were brutal. Soldiers forced to sit on houten paard with sharp edges.
Forced labor punished criminals' crafins. Convicts worked on public projects, roads, and fortifications.
Social inequality was extreme. Wealthy merchants in canal houses versus poor in damp one-room dwellings.
Riots reflected popular justice. Communities formed ad hoc tribunals when government failed.
Legal reforms evolved towards civilized urban behavior, unrest. Punishments becoming more systematic.
For this transgression, you will receive 50 lashes. VOC ships carried their own justice. Captains enforced maritime law with absolute authority.
From windmills to world trade, from Rembrandt's masterpieces to revolutionary justice, the Dutch Golden Age transformed not just the Netherlands,
but the world itself. Their innovations in commerce, art, science, and governance continue to shape our modern global civilization.